Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my brothers and sisters. As many of you have heard, there's been a devastating attack on a hospital in Gaza. Over 500, and some people saying over 900 Muslims have been slaughtered, have been made shaheed. O Muslims, we are the ones who claim that we follow the Quran and the Sunnah. We claim that we are from the Ummah of the beloved Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that in this book there is an explanation for everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that Islam provides us all the solutions, the treatments to life's problems. Then why is it that we pay little attention to hadiths such as when the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that the Imam, the Khalif, is the protector of the Ummah? Why is it that we see many Muslims today who actually belittle the concept of Khilafah? And there are many Muslims who will agree about the Khilafah. However, in their heart, when anyone speaks about Khilafah, it starts to pain them. Why is this? If we look at the situation in Gaza, we look at the situation in other places in the Muslim world, where we are defenseless. We are many in number, over billions, but we are defenseless. And we don't wonder why this is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the Imam is the protector of the Muslims. So it is the Imam, the Khalif, his duty to protect the Ummah. He's a shield for the Ummah. And without this shield, then are we surprised to see what we're seeing today? Where the cowardly, usurping entity can do as it likes with the lives of the Muslims? Where the whole world has given consent for them, a blank check to do what they want? Then are we surprised why we can't do anything about this? Even though there are so-called leaders around the Muslim world, those surrounding this usurping entity, but they don't do anything. The reality is we can try many things. We can call to the international community, we can call to the UN, we can send charity, we can do all these things, we can do petitions, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us how we need to protect ourselves. And unfortunately, we don't have this. And I'm not saying it's going to come tomorrow. We have to make big changes within ourselves, within our ummah. However, are we even entertaining this thought? How many of us make a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring back the Khilafah, to bring back His Sharia, so that we can solve our problems? How many of us are enjoying the good and forbidding the evil, speaking the truth? How many? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He will not change the condition of a people until they work to change themselves. How many of us are trying to change this situation? How many of us are trying to change ourselves? These are questions, brothers and sisters, that we all need to ask ourselves. I'm telling you, we are all feeling the pain. We are all hurting. We see the news, we are hurting. And we are confused. What do we need to do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that in this book is an explanation for everything. So there's no guesswork. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us what we need to do. And regardless of whether we see the return of the Khilafah in our lifetime, if we have no desire for it, if we don't want to work for it, if we don't want to strive for it, if we don't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it, how is it going to come about? So brothers and sisters, the next time people want to belittle the concept of Khilafah, these views must be counted. Because the reality is, until we cannot implement Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's deen on the earth, then how are we going to solve our problems? Because our solutions come from Islam by implementing Islam. And without that implementation, well, you can see everything around you now. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, this is first and foremost a reminder and advice to myself and to all of you. Look into our deen, study our history, study our past, and you will see how Muslims solve their problems. And unfortunately, we are looking left, right and center for solutions instead of looking towards the Quran and the Sunnah, which should be our sole reference point in life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.